Hey, comic fam, it's Otaku Tour Guide, and yeah, I haven't put out any content since I got back from the con. Um, I've just been processing uh, sort of my journey leading up to the con, and now that it's over, I find that yeah, I mean, I the con was you know, it was a great time, and so um, there's not much. It's just kind of like now that it's over, there's just sort of this I don't know. There's not much. I'm not kind of looking to buy comics right now. I spent a lot, um, and I over the past day or so, like a couple days. So the con was on Sunday. It's Wednesday today. Um, I've just been kind of organizing and um, putting all my comics sort of in tiers by titles and kind of separating them into groups. I've yet to kind of go over grading, and I'm sure I'll do that in subsequent videos. So, um, yeah, we'll kind of pour over the books. I have a lot of books now. The collection has grown quite considerably, so I may think about investing in maybe like a long box and start to put comics in there. My short box is practically full of what I call quote unquote common comics. Um, and then I have um, like key covers and keys, they're kind of separated. So yeah, I just kind of want to go over some of the comics that yeah, we'll just kind of look over each comic, um, and I'll kind of um, what I'll do is I'll parse out the content as we film. So you'll just be getting kind of little, I guess, short videos of my collection as we get through it. So I'm not gonna really go over um, a lot of the common stuff. I'll just be focusing on some of my favorite comics. So we'll start with, I guess, this stack here that I keep in this case. And let me pause for a minute, get these comics out. So some of these comics I got from the con, and some of these comics I got from Half Price Books. This specific one I picked up at Half Price Books for 75 cents plus tax. This copy is pretty. It's I would say it's a very fine copy. It presents well. There are issues though. First off, the corners aren't the sharpest. And this fold here is actually the bag, not the comic. So, there aren't any creases or anything major. So that's the bag, not the comic, it's the bag. And I can show you it's the bag if I scoot it down there, see. The creases by the foot, and if I scoot it up, it's no longer by the foot, so. This, I have yet to read this book, but I do know that there's this sort of cyborg-like Superman character, and I don't think this is his first appearance, but it's maybe his first cover. It's a very sort of iconic cover. And yeah, it's a nice cover. Reign of Superman. Sharp corner there. Sharp corner there. sort of a blunted corner right there. And then that's where we have the issue right there. There's a sort of a spine tick slash crease there. That's gonna knock it down. So that's a pretty major issue. So that I'm thinking this is an 8.5 just based on that issue. Everything else is, again, with a couple rounded corners. The cover looks fairly clean. A couple, like, like very faint, again, spine ticks. That it's a white cover, luckily, so nothing color breaking, but sure it'd present better with a clean inner press. I'd go 8.5 on this, and I believe this comic is like around $5 or so. So it's not worth much. And the $5 for like a near mint copy, so not worth much. May go up in value should this character make it to some kind of animated series, or make its appearance in movies at some point. But yeah, great cover. I love stuff like that. So Superman. The next cover, I've covered this comic before. Not the best copy. There's got some spine issues there. Overall, it's not like a vibrant cover. It's sort of a little dull and faded. But I picked it up for $1, so can't complain. And also, this is a great John Byrne cover, but what's really cool about this is the very first variant cover in comics. There's a variant cover to this, and that is the very first variant cover. And I picked it up actually at the con, and I'm hoping to pick up more copies because I think that's ultimately just going to be a collector's item as people kind of recognize John Byrne for this great Superman run he did. This is the miniseries that the Man of Steel miniseries, but he started the Volume 2 Superman run for DC in the 80s, and so that was a great. It's still in circulation. That no, I think it ended in 2000 something, but it was a great run of Superman, and this is the run that Byrne had started. So love John Byrne Superman. Just he did a really iconic Superman. Now this one I picked up at Half Price Books, and yeah, it's great condition. This is actually the envelope. So this is an envelope. Inside this envelope is the actual comic. And so what I really appreciated about this particular copy is the envelope is still in its original seal. So this had never been opened. But there are issues with the envelope there, or the comic envelope / comic. There's like a crease right there. But other than that, being that it's an envelope, meaning it's not your standard. I mean, there's an issue there. I don't know if this could. I don't think this can be pressed. You couldn't press and clean this because it's like a cardboard stock envelope. And anyway, there's outside of those little minor flaws, and they're not color breaking. They're just sort of these like indentations, just from kind of being, I guess, handled for whatever reasons. But the comic book was never taken out of the envelope, so it's obviously somebody had collected it with the intention of you know, just keeping it as a collectible. It wasn't red or anything, so um, great pickup. That Detective Comics 700, and it's part one of Legacy. Again, this is something I haven't read, um, but I like that color by Graham Nolan. It's just a great black and white cover. Um, Pretty cool. Profit. This is for sale. If you want this for selling it for, it's a really, like, this is a 9.8 candidate. I can't find any flaws with this. Just presents really well, high grade. So planning to sell this for $20, because I think if that Profit series blows up and get a couple seasons out of it, then it should be a very hot commodity. So get it now while it's cheap for $20 if you want it, or dig through your long boxes. I'm sure there are some copies of it somewhere in a dollar bin. Fantastic Four, yeah, this is a great cover that I really like. It's a Stan Lee cover. Although this isn't, he's not Stan Lee in the comic. He's some just sleazy, publisher. But we all know it's Stan. Stan with his mustachio shaved. He's just kind of being a creep. And She-Hulk's not. This is when She-Hulk was part of the Fantastic Four. It looks like she was in place of Ben Grimm. Ben Grimm was not part of the Fantastic Four, as you can see from the little logo here. Not sure why I wasn't reading this particular run of Fantastic Four, but I just love that cover. If you're going to go with She-Hulk covers, there's a lot of great ones out there, especially in that She-Hulk run, the She-Hulk run in the 80s. The John Byrne covers. This is a Byrne cover as well. John Byrne definitely had fun with the She-Hulk covers, so it was nice to see. Yes, this is Mark Silvestri's first art for the X-Men run, and he didn't have a very he had a good run on X-Men, but eventually kind of Jim Lee would take over, and then Andy Kubert would take over. So yeah, I think his run lasted a good 40 some issues though. Yeah, so great art. Forge, you coward, show your face, I want my powers back now. So this is just a comic that I've been wanting. It's a newsstand edition, and it's very fine. It's a very fine copy. No major issues. It's aged. It's just a little, aged here. But it's a comic that was handled, just put in a bag and maybe handled here and there, but nothing major. I love this art. This is Bill Sienkiewicz art, the Elektra assassin. This entire 8th issue limited series is just, the art in it is beautiful. He does all the art in it, just beautiful art. But these covers are just amazing. So this is Elektra's probably one of my favorite female comic book characters. Definitely Elektra and Psylocke are two of my favorite. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I know they're bringing Daredevil and Kingpin are coming to the MCU through Spider-Man, I would imagine. So when Spider-Man comes, they're gonna come. It'll be just interesting to see what other characters they bring. I'm sure Elektra's. You gotta. If so, Daredevil gets a standalone either series or a movie. You know, Elektra is coming as well. So I'm gonna try to pick up some more copies of this one because I think that's just gonna blow up. Yeah, this is a comic I picked up because it's a great John Byrne Wolverine cover. It's Alpha Flight, but also because it has the, so my birthday is August 13th, and so I like to pick up these August issue 13 covers. If I see them, I'll pick them up just because that's kind of the stuff I like to collect. And so, yeah, there are two copies I picked up too. This one's the nicer copy, actually. I mean, they're both kind of, I would say, fine copies. No, I mean, I would say they're very fine copies. There's nothing, apart from some fading, this one's actually presents pretty well. There's nothing, I mean, there's like a, I don't know if that's the bag it looks like. So this one is, I would say, is higher grade, maybe very fine. This one though, there's some dirt there. This one, the corners are actually, well, that corner is really sharp. That one, these two are blunted here. There's no creasing or anything. There's just some general just dirt and dinge. So I think, again, with a clean and a press, this you can probably get this up to an 8.5 at the moment. I would say it's maybe like a 7, just based on just the dirt and the blunted corners. The spine looks to be actually pretty nice, considering. Yeah, not bad copies, just a great cover. Okay, sucker, the only way to get to the lady is through me. Stuff like that's cool. That's a Wolverine. Okay, I've got 3 copies of this XMen Omega, and this is part of the Age of Apocalypse. I believe this is the finale, the final issue of. So it all concludes. Age of Apocalypse concludes in this issue. And then there's also a X-Men Prime, which kind of it's like an epilogue to the whole Age of Apocalypse, and kind of previews the continuity, the return to the continuity, and the new storylines in the return. Because remember, this is just an entire shift in timeline, because Charles Xavier's son, Legion, ends up killing his dad, Professor X, and that's ignites a chain of events that starts the Age of Apocalypse. Apocalypse is able to kind of like create this sort of mutant massacre, and where mutants are hunted, and the surviving X-Men and they're kind of like fighting. So this is just this is the first issue in that in this It was really all-encompassing. It was an all-encompassing storyline because this extended into, I believe, 2099. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, that timeline also sparks the 2099 Marvel from my limited 90s comics memory. But so yeah, I'm sure this may be something we'll see at some point. Well, I think once Marvel establishes like X-Men and an integrated MCU, like where X-Men, Spider-Man, like Avengers, all these like teams and individual superheroes, which is why I think Secret Wars is like a huge spec. I think you'll see a transition once the universe is set up. You'll see something like a Secret Wars take place where you have all the superhero characters, um, in Secret Wars, and then subsequent subsequently you'll see that transition out into bringing these kinds of storylines where where every sort of comic book franchise is, it's a series that's interconnected, um, and you'll just, this is like a prime example of how you know, that medium can be used. So basically a timeline shift, and you just have like a Spider-Man movie in that timeline, you have X-Men movie in that timeline, and then you have just a Marvel universe that kind of ties it together. I could see movies transitioning into that, and fans like myself being really into it and supporting, and going to see all the movies in that integration. But that may be a long way off because I know, you know, movies are still sort of serial sequel based. It'll be interesting to see if they can do an interconnected serial that's where they're telling individual stories, but they're also connected in by the same kind of universe. We have yet to see if that'll happen. Okay, well, this is a stack that I went through. We'll continue to do this, and just watch for it in the next video. Thanks for watching.